Good morning, this is Sun Kim's weekly global briefing on 27th of July, last week. Actually, yesterday, the Bill Gates said to the Blue House in South Korea, and he sent a letter, and what he said is that, okay, we are really impressed about the SK Bioscience, the capacity of the developing vaccines, and also the capacity of the production of vaccine. So I would like to cooperate with the SK guys. So there is another big news for the South Korea, and then everybody said that, oh well, the SK Bioscience is really good, and it's gonna soon they're gonna make an IPO, and then they have some kind of financial institute with the NH or whatever. Okay, and the problem is that it's not exact news. Okay, they said that it's good, and then they have a power, they have a developing capacity and a production capacity, and the problem is that it's not only the COVID-19 but also the other vaccines too. So now I'll talk to you later about this, and first we're gonna check the indices and the commodities. Number one, indices, all three major, they show the red lights. And then they collapsed on Thursday, and then they could not rebound on the Friday. The problem is that they break the 5-day lines and the 20-day lines, all three indices. And now everybody in the U.S. market, they say that we are very good, we have outstanding, and we are marvelous and fabulous, and our performance is really perfect. Everybody says that, but the problem is that they are the bankers and the tech stocks. And now everybody in the consumer sectors, they're saying, oh, we're weird, and we are all devastated. All the kind of things will happen this week. So we will have another price adjustment this week, so we gotta be careful about it. And one good news is that the VIX of the August, that also shows the red light, and it is a good news. That means that the commodity will be stabilized, and the VIX, it collapsed until last Wednesday, and then it rebounds, and then now it come to the 28.725, and it is still the same good the bottom. It made the second bottoms, and it is good news that it will make a rebound, but still there is stabilized. Now the commodities, as you see, the gold and palladium shows the green, and the others all shows the bear. The problem is that the gold, it surpassed the $1,900 ceiling, but it collapsed again, and now it's on the $1,897. Yeah, it is good news. Gold is going up, and now that it is almost the highest point since the 2011. At that time, the gold the peak point was the $1,923.70, and is almost maybe $20 around, and very small margins. So we are at the peak again, and now the dollar index is the lowest, and they break the bottom again, and it may make the second bottom in the chart. And maybe this week the government or the Fed, they will give another announcements to boost up the dollar index, and then the gold may have a lot of possibility to collapse and make the bear market again. So in the long term, yeah, absolutely, the gold will make a really bull market. I mean, in 5 or 10 years. But now it will have a very short-term price adjustment. So you gotta be careful about it. And number 2, silver and palladium. As I told you last week, it is a really good chance to buy a platinum. Another good chance. And then now it raised. Yeah, it raised from Tuesday to Thursday. Yes, after then they make some kind of price adjustment. So silver, it tried to surpass the $24, but it failed, and this week it will try to break it again, and I think they can break it again. Yeah, they can. Absolutely, they can do it. Maybe it'll go to more than $224, and maybe $25, and hopefully and hopefully if you have some money, then it'll be better to buy some silver a little bit, not many. Okay, you just to check the silvers, that'll be good. But the problem is that for the platinum, I'd like to recommend you to sell it. Maybe have up to 50%. You gotta sell it and make a profit, and then you gotta check it up. Maybe there is a possibility to break the $1,000 ceilings of the platinum. But if not, then I'd like to give you the lines on the 960. If you go there, and then you can sell it everything and then take the money. Okay, so I give you one advice for the commodities now, and it is really good chance. Palladium, yeah, it is also good, but the problem is that it is too expensive. Okay, so so the warranty is more than $24,000 per one unit. So if you are really rich, then you can put it there. And remember that I told you that if you are gonna do the futures, then you gotta have if you have $100 for one unit, then you gotta have $300. Okay, if not, then you shall not go to there. Unfortunately, the copper is not good. Copper is at $2.89, and it couldn't break the $3 ceiling, and this week it'll fall down, so you gotta be careful. Now you sell it, and then until it goes to the $2.70, and you check whether it is going up or not. Now it is time to talk about the oil. The WTI and Brent is green light, and the problem is that now it's still on the ceiling of the COVID-19 gap, in the middle of the gap. So I'd like to recommend you that it'll be better to sell it and then make some kind of profit and wait until it drop down. Maybe there is another possibility to drop down because the consumer sector's performance will make the price adjustment and make the bear market, and so does the oil. Yeah, so does the Brent oil. And the problem, another point is that the Dubai oil is very touchy issue. You know that it drops more than drops up to 3%, 2.95%, but the price is really near to the Brent oil. That means that the European economy is really collapsing, and Dubai and the Asian market is still under recovering because of the China is recovering, but the problem is that India is still sick, and China recovers not more than 60%. So we are waiting for the vaccines of COVID-19 to recover all the issues. Now we are talking about the weekly news, and the Bill Gates said that the Korean firm could make 200 million vaccines by June, and it is on the Bloomberg, and it's SK Bioscience in South Korea. And the Gates sent a letter to Blue House, the Korean government, and he said he is impressed about the SK Bioscience and the vaccines development and the producing capacity. And I have one question: why it doesn't go to Samsung? Why? That is another issue. So we have to think about it. Anyway, the Bill Gates backed up the SK Bioscience and SK Groups, and also so does the KT and other Korean companies, which is has a real state of arts on the 5G or the bioscience. So if you are thinking about that, then so many new fourth industrial waves, they will come to the other. Now it is go to the ITs and also the bioscience. So it is starting from the South Korea, as you think. But you have to check that the global major pharmaceuticals like Pfizer, Moderna, or the Gilead Science, they also have the power. So we have to think about the reason why the Bill Gates is choosing the Korean companies. Number two, poll finds that just 13% of voters still up for grabs for Trump-Biden. you know that the Wall Street Journal is a little bit conservative in the political lines, and you know that the poll said that everybody says that okay, now the Biden is good, Biden will be the next president, whatever, blah blah blah, and then now that the Wall Street Journal said that okay, we checked the 900 voters, possible voters, and then I get the new poll. The newest one said that the 13% of voters, they are the upper grabs, and now and still half of them, they said, I'll never support the President Trump again. Yes, absolutely, the Trump is not good now, but we have to check. We don't know the result yet, and now it is July, and we have still more than 3 months until the 11th 4th, the November 4th. Okay, so on November 4th we will see the result, and November 3rd they will vote. So we have to check it up whether they are going up or down, and now we will check again whether the press of the United States, they are really accurate, and they are very neutral, or they are very they are not biased. I hope that they are very neutral and then they are very accurate. Yeah, that is my hope. And number 3, the Financial Times said that Chinese listings surged on Wall Street despite tensions. As you see that the US-China, they're fighting each other for the embassy problems in Houston and also Chengdu. And the problem is that they are still fighting, but on the backside they are saying something, okay, now we need something, okay? So Trump also wants President Xi about this something, and Xi also wants the President Trump something. They owe each other politically, and also economically they are very connected, very strongly. So the Chinese listings, last year they have only 9.9 companies were listed on the New York and the Nasdaq, but now it is more than 9. Now it is 19 companies, 19 Chinese companies listed or will be listed in the New York Stock Exchange and the Nasdaq. That means that also the Chinese companies and the Chinese economy desperately need the power of the dollars too. Okay? So if you are thinking about this, then what we see is not the truth. Okay, what we see is what we believe, but that is not truth. So we have to check it up, the truth, later on. Okay, I'll check the market forecast. Okay, Dow Jones maintains still 26K lines, and the Nasdaq managed to hold the 10.3K lines. Okay, the problem is that, however, there may be an additional price adjustment this week for a consumer stocks report. The consumer sector is very bad, and still it is not reflected on the indices, in the Dow Jones, S&P, and Nasdaq. Everybody said that okay, everything is good, and we have money, and we put the money. And the problem is that now they are facing the truth. Consumer sector is devastated. Everybody knows that, but they don't want to mention it. And now it is time to face the truth. So they'll make another price adjustment. Absolutely, yes. Number 2, copper failed to surpass $3 per pound again. Yeah, they made 2 peaks last couple of weeks. Okay, and then now they fail again, and then it is now $2.89 around, and maybe $2.90. This week they will fall down again because they made an illusion on the economy recovery, but it is not. As I told you, that it is the problem of the supply is shrinking by the COVID-19, not by the recovery of the economy. Okay, so it is really important. You have to check the truth. You have to see it, and this week the index will show you the truth. And the next one is about the wheat. And I always told you that the agriculture and all the dairies and all kind of beef or all kind of protein issues. Okay, and wheat is rising again, and it is moving towards former highest point. That means that now the inventory of the wheat is getting decreased, and still the weather condition is not good to make a harvest of the wheat. And also the seeding, and although now the Canada, they are doing lots of the wheat. Okay, so we are checking. I am checking the issues of the Canada's wheat harvest and everything there, and the problem is that the U.S. Farm Belt, they are suffering from the shrinking land of the wheat. Because of the weather change. It is a really big issues. And the corn, they're making other issues too. Okay, finally I'll give you the weekly focus. And number 1, what adjustment will come to the stock market against the consumer sector's earning reports? Consumer sectors is really devastating, and now we'll face the truth. And yes, absolutely, they'll make another price adjustment this week. Already 5 days and 20 days lines, they all collapsed. Now it's the time to collapse, whether they hold the 60 days line or not. If they cannot, then you'll see a really deep adjustment. Okay, deep adjustment, and then it'll make a very slow recovery. If they rebound maybe before the 60 days, then you'll see another hope on the third quarter or the fourth. Okay. Number 2, how South Korean pharmaceutical company can compete with global majors against the COVID-19 vaccine. There are 2 trends in the vaccine industry. Number 1 is the chemical, just like the US and the European companies did before, like Moderna, Gilead Science, Pfizer, or the AstraZeneca. They are doing finding some kind of chemicals. Okay, and the other is the plasma treatment, and the stem cell treatment in the eastern side. I mean, is Asian countries like China, Korea, and Japan. They are doing that. Absolutely, the Korean has some kind of plasma and the stem cell treatment. They have a really big powers on that treatment too, but it is kind of a different issues. FDA will give another faster results on the chemical products, and the other plasma and the stem cell, they will require that okay, I understand that works, but how does it work? Give me the logics. They will ask for that, and that will require lots of research on it. So that's the reason why the plasma and the stem cell research is very slow. Okay, the development is very slow. They have to give all the logics to the FDA, and if the FDA understands the logics, then they approve. That is one of the issues. So we have to check the issues. But anyway, it's good news that the SK Bioscience is recognized by Bill Gates. Yeah, I hope that maybe this kind of efforts will change the minds of FDA. Hopefully. Number 3, is Chinese economy independent from the US? Obviously. Definitely not. Absolutely not. Okay, they are connected to each other. If the China don't have the power of the dollars, then their economy will collapse. They made lots of debts, and without the dollars, then they cannot hold the power. They cannot hold the debt's power. That is a problem. So maybe sooner or later, US and China, they'll make another agreement, and then they'll start the phase 2 US-China economy, I mean the trading agreement. Absolutely. Maybe before this year, they have to make it. If not, then China and US both will have a really big economical damage. So they will do it. And now there's some kind of embassy issues between the US and China. That is just a fake. Just fake. Okay? They are fighting each other. But they still want to say that, oh, I'd like to rework with you again. But the problem is that who says the first, China or US? That is the issues. Okay, so this week we'll see a lot of price adjustment in index, in stock market, and the commodity it will boom again. Okay, so all the monies from the stock, they'll go to the commodities. The commodities will flourishing this week, but be careful. Some of them is still already in the peak. So they'll collapse and then they may move to the other precious metals or the other commodities. So make yourself clear and be confident that you are really a good investor. Keep your money and take the profit. And don't lose your money. Very simple. Don't lose your money. Okay? If you keep your principal, there is a chance to get the more money. Okay? So this week, you have to be careful about it. God bless you and thank you.